We're going to begin with the severe weather overnight. Twisters in the south causing extensive damage. Ginger is standing by tracking the tornado watch in effect right now. And Faith Abubey starts us off in hard-hit Purvis, Mississippi with the latest. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, Michael. It was a harrowing night for so many families here in this area. Hundreds of buildings and homes just like this one ripped to shreds. In this specific home, the roof here completely blown off. You can see it's right here resting in the side yard. And then the homes in the back there also the same story. Across Mississippi, many families reported being trapped in their homes. And here in Purvis, the damage stretching for about 2 miles, littered with downed trees and power lines. This morning, tornadoes devastating Mississippi. At least 17 injuries reported.
That's a huge wedge!
AccuWeather video showing what appears to be a massive wedge tornado south of Bude, about 80 miles outside of Jackson. To the east in Purvis, the view from the sky harrowing. Several homes with their roofs lifted clean off. Hundreds of structures damaged with injuries reported.
One man was looking outside and he said, "It's coming." We just started praying.
The congregation of the Cold Town Baptist Church was just about to start service when the sirens began.
We didn't realize at the time that the roof was gone.
The fellowship hall destroyed. The steeple torn from the roof, now lying in the parking lot. Thankfully, the pastor says everyone is okay. Trees snapped in half, power lines laying on the highway below. Excavators in the road to clear debris. This house folded in on itself. To the north in Bogachita, this trailer park destroyed.
I just thought it was thunder. I went to my living room. I go back to my room. Room's gone. Then we go to get a tub. That's gone too. So we went to under the couch. Then when we got to the couch, everything started rolling. Whole house.
The park leveled. The ground a mangled mess. Wood, metal, and clothes thrown all around. And you can see we're still getting some intermittent rain right now, but Mississippi has had more than 60 tornadoes so far this year, but by far the storms last night were the strongest. George.
Okay, Faith, thanks very much. Ginger is here. Where's this all headed?
Yeah, so the strong line of storms is still ripping right now across southern Alabama, Georgia, and headed into the panhandle of Florida. And that is where we find a tornado watch this morning until 10 a.m. So you can see where the storms are currently, but they're going to sync with the front to the south and southeast. And so let's track it. This is a daytime event. This is not something where we wait for the atmosphere to warm up and it happens later. No, even late morning, early afternoon, you've got to have two ways of getting the warnings for you. And again, Tallahassee, Apalachicola, Panama City, Pensacola, all included in that risk area. Damaging wind is in there too. It's not just the isolated tornado. You could have some hail, and the general risk goes all the way up through North Carolina. Now, they want this rain, right? But they definitely do not want the tornadoes attached. And yes, there were at least 14 reported tornadoes from just yesterday. You see the ones in Purvis there, but these were likely repeats. There are probably about 3 tornadoes. They'll get out and do the surveys today. As Faith mentioned, Mississippi has had, before yesterday, 62 tornadoes so far this year, which puts them in second place after Illinois at 108. It's been a big season, and unfortunately, we've got a long one to go, Robin.
Yeah, we do. All right, Ginger, our thanks to you. Now to the crisis aboard the cruise ship in the Atlantic. Health officials are racing to stop the hantavirus from spreading as more cases are confirmed. Victor Kendo joins us with the latest. Good morning to you, Victor.
Good morning, Robin. 3 more suspected cases reported overnight. That brings the total to 11. Dutch officials say 30 passengers from this ship disembarked in St. Helena nearly 2 weeks ago. And now here at home, several states are monitoring former passengers. This morning, officials are racing to contain the deadly hantavirus outbreak that has killed 3 people. Several states, including Arizona, Georgia, and California, monitoring cruise ship passengers for possible infections. Teams in protective gear transporting 3 patients to emergency flights bound for Amsterdam. This as contact tracing has started on anyone who may have been exposed to sick patients earlier in the trip who disembarked at different locations. One such traveler was removed from a KLM flight in Johannesburg a day before her death. KLM saying due to the passenger's medical condition at the time, the crew decided not to allow the passenger to travel on the flight. 88 of those passengers from that flight now being tracked by the World Health Organization after possibly being exposed. And the WHO says a Swiss man who had returned home with his wife tested positive for hantavirus on Wednesday. He remains hospitalized. There are now 11 suspected cases of hantavirus infection from that ship, 5 testing positive in a lab. Hantavirus is a respiratory infection with no treatment and can kill up to 40% of those infected. The World Health Organization says testing so far identified the rare Andes strain, which can spread from person to person.
That is the species that has been identified on the cruise ship. And so that's why they're starting to worry more and more about the potential for person-to-person spread on the cruise ship.
Health officials now suspect the first victim to contract the virus picked it up in Argentina before getting on the ship. In mid-March, he'd visited a landfill during a bird-watching tour, and officials suspect he contracted it from rodents. The captain announces his death weeks ago, telling those on board the man was not infectious before anyone knew it was hantavirus.
This is my sad duty to inform you that one of our passengers sadly passed away last night. I'm told by the doctor we're not infectious, so the ship is safe when it comes to that.
But that man likely spread it to his wife, who also died. Ruhi Chenet was a passenger on the ship and says the cruise continued as normal.
Since we were not informed of any contagious disease, everyone was relaxed.
Medical teams are monitoring the nearly 150 people still on board, including 17 Americans, as they make their way to the Canary Islands in Spain. The State Department telling ABC News the Trump administration has no higher priority than the safety and security of Americans, and they are ready to assist any affected Americans. Michael?
Yeah, it is a definitely high priority there, Victor. Thank you so much for that. And we're going to turn now to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation and a federal judge unsealing a note purportedly written by the convicted sex offender before his death. Chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is here with the details. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Michael. So you'll see the handwriting appears to match other notes Jeffrey Epstein left in jail. If this one can be authenticated, the note would provide a window into Epstein's mindset in his final weeks. This is the cryptic one-page note that Jeffrey Epstein's former cellmate claims he found days after Epstein first tried to kill himself in jail. They investigated me for months, found nothing, the note said. It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye. What you want me to do? No fun, not worth it. Epstein's ex-cellmate, quadruple murderer Nicholas Tartaglione, claimed he found the note tucked in a book in July 2019 and the days after Epstein's first attempt at suicide, when jail guards said they found Epstein in his cell with a noose around his neck, and he appeared to be unresponsive. The note had been locked in a court file for years. A federal judge ordered it unsealed following a petition from the New York Times. There's no confirmation Epstein wrote the note, and in a jailhouse evaluation, he denied being suicidal, telling a psychologist, "I have no interest in killing myself." But photographs retrieved from Epstein's cell after he killed himself in August 2019 show other notes, including one with one of the same phrases, "no fun," and what appears to be similar handwriting. The note was unsealed hours after a member of President Trump's cabinet faced questions about his relationship with Epstein.
Why did you visit him after he pleaded guilty, Mr. Secretary of Sex?
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick testified he was Epstein's neighbor for more than a decade but had no personal or professional relationship with him. But in some of the more than 3 million pages of Epstein records released by the Department of Justice, emails show the two were in touch in 2011, then again for that island lunch in 2012, seen in this photo, and communicating through their assistants as late as 2018, more than a decade after Epstein first pleaded guilty to sex crimes.
So I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or for even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Democrats say Lutnick should resign.
If Donald Trump had seen the video transcript, he would have fired Howard Lutnick. It was really embarrassing.
Republicans say Lutnick was transparent.
This is a habit of the Democrats on this committee coming out, telling you all stuff that was said that was not said.
Now, former Attorney General Pam Bondi is scheduled to testify at the end of the month. As for the note, if it's determined to be real, kind of astonishing it stayed hidden in a court file for years after Epstein's death was so
really
painstakingly investigated.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. We're getting to the latest now on the war with Iran. The ceasefire mostly holding for now as the U.S. and Iran discuss a framework for negotiations with mediators. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is at the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. And sources tell me the Trump administration and Iran are trying to hammer out the details of a soft framework to end this war. This agreement would launch a 30-day window for deeper negotiations. This morning, Iran says it's now reviewing a proposal sent by the Trump administration to end the war with Iran.
They want to make a deal. We've had very good talks over the last 24 hours, and it's very possible that we'll make a deal.
Sources tell ABC News the one-page memorandum of understanding would allow for a month of deeper negotiations, including over the future of Iran's nuclear program. The proposal also aimed at easing the standoff in the critical Strait of Hormuz by gradually lifting its blockade on Iranian ports if Iran allows traffic to flow freely. It's the first step toward negotiations since President Trump abruptly scrapped peace talks with Iran and Pakistan just a week and a half ago. And while his own Secretary of State insists Operation Epic Fury is over, the president now attempting to pressure Iran to come to the table, warning on social media that if the country does not agree, the bombing starts. The war is now in its 10th week, and after setting several different deadlines, the president now claims he has no deadline for Iran to make a deal.
Never a deadline. It'll happen. It'll happen, but never a deadline.
One Iranian official declaring Iran has its fingers on the trigger and is ready. And this morning, the tension in the strait is escalating. The Pentagon announcing that U.S. forces fired on another Iranian-flagged tanker, the naval blockade now turning around 52 vessels. And with oil prices soaring, at least 1,500 tankers stacking up, waiting to pass. The captain of one vessel stranded in the strait sharing this video with Al Jazeera Arabic.
We are total 24 crew members on board, and we are stuck here ever since the war started on 28 February.
And we know one of the major sticking points in any of these negotiations will be Iran's nuclear program. The president has long insisted that Iran needs to give up its nuclear material. So far, Iran has flat out refused. And U.S. officials also caution, even though there are messages being traded by way of Pakistan, these negotiations are fragile and they could all fall apart as they have before, George.
And Rachel, big drop in oil prices overnight, but gas prices still climbing.
Yeah, gas prices continue to soar, George. Right now, the average price for a gallon of gas is $4.50 a gallon. That's up more than 2 cents than just from yesterday, and it's up more than $1.63 since this war began 10 weeks ago. With the Strait of Hormuz closed, there is no end in sight, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks, Robin.
And George, we know that the price of oil has been going up and down based on the latest news about the war, and now ABC News has learned that billions of dollars in bets on the price of oil are being investigated by the Justice Department. Elizabeth Schulze is tracking the latest there in Washington. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Robin. We are seeing those historic swings in the price of oil with every headline about the Iran war. And now we have learned that the Justice Department is investigating a series of suspiciously timed trades just ahead of major announcements about the war by President Trump. Sources tell ABC News that the DOJ, along with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, are probing at least 4 trades in the oil market where traders made a total of more than $2.6 billion betting that oil prices would drop right before they actually did. Starting on March 23rd, data from the London Stock Exchange showed just 15 minutes before Trump posted that he would delay attacking Iran's power grid, traders bet $500 million that oil prices would fall. On April 7th, a few hours before Trump announced a ceasefire, nearly $1 billion in bets on oil dropping. Similar pattern on April 17th, $760 million in trades just 20 minutes before Iran announced the Strait of Hormuz was open. And on April 21st, 15 minutes before Trump extended the ceasefire, traders bet $430 million oil would go down. We do not know the identities of these traders, but these are very big payouts, raising concerns about insider trading. The CFTC and DOJ are not officially commenting, guys.
It shouldn't be too hard to figure out who made the trades, and that is definitely suspicious. All right, thank you so much for that, Elizabeth. We're going to turn now to the NBA playoffs. Games 2 for the Knicks and Sixers, as well as the Timberwolves and Spurs. Lara is here with the biggest moments. Good morning, Lara.
Yeah, good morning, Michael. And, you know, Game 2 looked nothing like the Game 1s that we saw, the openers in either series. The Spurs were all business out there, and the Knicks and Sixers, well, they gave us a thriller right to the finish.
Overnight, the Spurs reminding everyone why they are in the postseason.
No good again. Wembanyama comes soaring in for the slam.
Victor Wembanyama shutting down the Timberwolves with a 133-95 win.
He'll fire and hit a three.
And tying up the series in the process.
Then this was going to come down to the final couple of minutes.
Meanwhile, it was a battle in the Big Apple coming down to the wire.
Puts it up.
The Knicks pulling out a hard-fought win over the Sixers. Game 2 saw 25 lead changes, the most for a playoff game in the past 13 years. And with the Garden rocking, Philly came knocking, even without their star Joel Embiid, sidelined with an ankle and hip injury.
Tyrese Maxey putting on a show here in the second quarter.
Tyrese Maxey putting the team on his back. New York's captain Jalen Brunson helping turn the tide, though, in the final moments.
That's good. Jalen Brunson in the clutch.
Karl Anthony Towns dominating the night, but also lending a helping hand, using a broomstick to sweep a ball that had gotten stuck in the backboard. The game ending on a bittersweet note, though, with OG Anunoby walking off the court after an apparent leg injury.
Yeah, hope he's okay. No word on whether OG will be okay to play Game 3. Joel Embiid, he's day-to-day. He could be back on the court for Game 3 if that ankle and hip settle down. The series now heads to Philadelphia for Game 3. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. The Sixers look just fine without Joel, so...
Yeah. I mean, they
could get real interesting for the Knicks.
They're a good team without him. He hadn't played most of the season anyway, and they made the playoffs. And you know, it's not going to be an easy series.
I stayed up. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
It was a good one.
All right, thank you, Lara.